out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
It gets worse. Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now that's a legacy. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that.
Jesus Christ would not vote for Barack Obama. Jesus Christ would not vote for Barack Obama. Christ would not vote for Barack Obama because Barack Obama has behaved in a way that is inconceivable for Christ to have behaved. Jesus Christ would not vote for Barack Obama. He supports a lifestyle that the Bible calls an abomination. Mr. Obama says he's a Christian, but he supports the destruction of innocent.
He said many times at the beginning of the year that he was just the president, that we had divided powers. He said 22 times that he didn't have the authority to just make law. But by the end of the year, he was telling his friends, I changed the law for you.
I know some people want me to bypass Congress and change the laws on my own, And believe me, right now dealing with Congress, the idea of doing things on my own is very tempting. What you're not paying attention to is the fact that I just took an action to change the law. Now,
no, Obama can't do that. He can't violate congressional law because he feels like it, like he's on the border, and guns and power plants.
That Obama, his powers are so unprecedented that even congressmen now are saying Obama is enacting dictatorial powers by saying that, yes, I'll follow some laws, but overall, I'll do anything I want. He has already used dictator-style powers to go
We've got
and do
Obama.
anything he wants.
He's no longer a U.S. president. He is now a dictator. We are now a transnational union. And unfortunately, as of today, Obama is now a dictator.
Absolute power, which is as corrupt as it ever gets. In studying dictatorships, which I've done since I'm about 18 years old, I've never heard a dictator say he's doing anything illegally. Never. Even Hitler said that everything he did was within the law. Did you know that? I mean, our National Action Network president, Barack Hussein Obama, said he's going to act within the law. Mussolini said he was acting within the law when he violated the law. Hitler said he was acting within the law when he needed some living space for the Germans, Lebensraum. He wasn't invading Czechoslovakia because he wanted to conquer Czechoslovakia. He said he had the legal right to engage in getting some living space for the German people. That's so everything's legal. Pol Pot did it legally.
So dictatorship didn't happen overnight. It took 5 years, gradually, little by little, to escalate up to a dictatorship.
The Obamacare is a horribly written law. And as much as President Obama believes he can do whatever he wants, the Constitution says otherwise. Government.
When did Obama assert that he can do whatever he wants?
He's rewritten 30 or 40 different parts of Obamacare by administration action.
Is one of the most profoundly troubling aspects of the Obama administration is the degree to which this is a lawless administration. We've never seen a president who picks and chooses the way this president does.
This is entirely lawless. Because the fact that nobody is talking about this, the executive executes the laws. As you say, this is another example of Obama rewriting a law unilaterally, and nobody is complaining.
Understand, President Obama cannot legally do what he proposed to do yesterday, and the media let him get away with claiming. He can't fix part of a law that he doesn't like by fiat. Our president is not a king,
if Congress won't act soon to protect future generations, I will. I will direct my cabinet to come up with executive actions we can take now and in the future to reduce pollution, prepare our communities for the consequences of climate change, and speed the transition to
by Hitler's government, by the planners of the New World Order.
President Obama calling for a new world order.
Laid out his vision for America's place in a new world order, saying he was speaking as a proud citizen of the United States.
Creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see. And for the international order that we have worked for generations to build.
This, as the president pledged to shape, quote, a new international order.
President Obama called for a new U.S. role on the world stage.
So we have to shape an international order that can meet the challenges of our generation. The international order we seek is one that can resolve the challenges of our times.
But Kissinger says they are preparing Obama to create this new world order. Now, I have a lot of stock in what Kissinger says because he's a member of this secret society, the Bilderbergs. Here is Blair and Brown, the Prime Minister of England, saying we want Obama to go and have a part in the peace process. And you see, he comes in peaceably, Daniel 11:21, enters in peaceably, Daniel 11:24.
Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1939. He was nominated by Brandt, a member of the Swedish Parliament. The man was a dedicated anti-fascist, and he made the nomination
on the job, and he's now a Nobel laureate. In a ceremony at Oslo City Hall, President Barack Obama joined the exalted company of Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa. He was cited for re-engaging America in global diplomacy. Yet his Peace Prize came days after he ordered thousands more troops to war in Afghanistan.
And as Commander-in-Chief, I have determined that it is in our vital national interest to send an additional 30,000 U.S. troops to Afghanistan. That there will be war and still strive for peace.
This is a little frightening. And the title is Obama, first U.S. president to chair UN Security Council. Some unprecedented news, folks. Never in the history of the United Nations has a U.S. president taken the chairmanship of the powerful UN Security Council. Perhaps it is because of what could arguably be the constitutional prohibition against doing so. Constitution be damned. Barack Hussein Obama has decided to put himself in the driver's seat.
We know the president can refuse to defend the constitutionality of a statute, even one that he signs into law. Mr. Speaker, that is a lot of power. What are we to do when that amount of power is not enough?
Do you not see what this is? He's setting himself up at the top of the pile of the New World Order. New World Order. That's what this is. This has never happened in the history of the United Nations.
Barack Obama is the first president to chair the UN Security Council. That by chairing that meeting, which is unconstitutional and against the law, Barack Obama is literally in charge of all the armies that are associated with the United Nations.
This next
presidential
election is not going to take place, that it's going to be suspended because evil's going to arise and some disasters are going to happen and some things are going to be put in place and the president's not going to be removed. He's going to stay in, and these things are going to happen and they're going to be very bad if we don't get a hold of God.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will.
The President of the United States. The President of the United States.
And will.
You don't have that much time to take away Americans' guns, declare martial law, and put hardworking Americans in FEMA camps. If you're going to do that, you better get started.
Yesterday, President Obama signed an executive order claiming the right to incarcerate persons in the Guantanamo Bay military prison for the duration of their natural lives, even after acquittal. You heard that correctly, after acquittal. Following upon President Bush, President Obama has claimed the power to punish people even after a jury has found them not guilty. No Western government has ever claimed the power to do this. Not the King of England, not Hitler, not Stalin, not even the Russian and Chinese communists.
President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention.
I have decided we really need camps for adults. And we need camps that you all run. I mean, really.
Indefinite detention without trial. That's what this is. That's what President Obama proposed today. And it is stunning, particularly to hear President Obama claim the power to keep people in prison indefinitely with no charges against them, no conviction, no sentence, just imprisonment.
FEMA plastic coffins, detention centres, armoured checkpoints and armoured military vehicles for civil purposes are well-documented facts. For the United States military claims stores of guillotines located in Fort Lewis military facility. The latest revelation of Obamacare sanctions death by guillotine, code ICD 9E978. However, Obama was only following...
Obamacare is full of endless surprises. Yeah, you want to go Google Obamacare ICD-9. Yeah, that's one of the many hidden treasures within Obamacare. And what ICD-9 is all about, it's the code that confirms execution by beheading. Yeah, that's within Obamacare. That shouldn't come as any kind of a big surprise to anyone, considering that that's what they do in that part of the world. You know, they cut people's heads off. And Obama is from that part of the world. And that's what he's got built into Obamacare.
The guillotines show that Obamacare is not about American health care. It's about global health care. But it's not really health care. They've got to have some kind of a political structure so as to be able to kill anybody they want to in any nation on earth. They got to get every person on the planet involved, and health care is the best idea that they came up with, because everybody's going to need health care sooner or later. So the guillotines are in there, and we know that the guillotines is implemented by the World Health Organization, which is international office of the United Nations. So this proves doubly that Obamacare has nothing to do about American health care. It has to do about global health care.
They call it a residential center, but it looks a hell of a lot more like a prison to me. Double fences, floodlights, barbed wire to keep people from getting out, and at the main entrance, railroad tracks, just like Nazi Germany.
It's hundreds of thousands, plastic coffins.
So each one of those is a separate coffin stacked on top. There's probably, 20 to 25 per stack. And how many stacks? Literally hundreds of them.
And you can fit 4 dead bodies per plastic coffin. It's basically a giant body bag.
Tens of thousands of coffins. Officially, they're plastic grave liners. The bodies would pile up, the military would pile in, and the concentration camp gates would open. So you're telling me there isn't one FEMA camp of these in the United States right now?
There are not.
Why is it in that bill?
What is exactly in the bill?
It talks about building FEMA camps, doesn't it? That particular bill that we're talking about? What's the bill number? 6 FEMA camps to be built within the United States. How can a bill state that there'll be 6 FEMA camps built in the United States, and then I'm being told there are none?
I think those are locations for if there's a disaster like in Katrina. I think that's what it is. It's not any kind of a concentration camp or anything to round up citizens.
Well, we have films of children playing on the swings and the slides and stuff, and this one technically falls under Homeland Security.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been there, and I don't know who the children are, and the children are probably very happy.
Where have we heard that before?
It's the answer spoken by young and old, rich and poor, rich and poor, rich and poor.
And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
But a lot of people don't know that there is the availability now is to have everybody do away with everybody's health care, put you on government health care, and put a chip, it's called a health care chip, with all your information in your right hand.